everybody. Welcome to Om Sweet Om. I'm yoga instructor Alison Schuster. And today we're at Oxford Athletic Club talking to Nicole Rogos. Hi, Nicole.
Hi.
How are you?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
I'm very glad to have you here. Now, you are the mind-body manager
Correct.
at Oxford.
Yes.
So you're in charge of yoga, Pilates, and we are here in the Pilates room.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
And so a lot of people may not recognize where we are, like what this is. And we're going to talk about Pilates today because I think a lot of people don't know a whole lot about Pilates.
You are right. Very intimidating. Yes.
Can you start us out? Where did Pilates come from? Where does even the name come from? I don't think a lot of people know where the name comes from.
And it's pronounced Pilates. She is correct. The Pilates education, exercises format comes from Joseph Pilates, who we want to say invented it in the early 1900s. He was hired by the German army to rehab the soldiers. So basically, he was the first physical therapist ever. And what's interesting about Joseph Pilates is that he suffered a lot of ailments himself. He had asthma, but he was very into physical fitness between boxing and doing things to improve his breathing, his posture, his physical fitness.
So healing the body from the inside out,
correct.
Rather than relying on medicine and
absolutely
painkillers or anything that's going to harm the body, healing it from the inside out. And we talk about that a lot on this show.
Right.
So where did he take it from there? How did this develop?
Well, the process of the Pilates is interesting because it was developed from a hospital bed. So a lot of people will come in and see the springs and the bars and think it's a torture chamber, which it's not.
It's the rack.
They think it's like from The Princess Bride. They're going to be just tortured and stretched, and it's nothing like that at all. If you actually would even Google, early time Pilates with Joseph Pilates himself, you'll see, the hospital beds, and he would attach springs and straps from all parts of the bed, because the soldiers were bedridden. They could not get out of bed. So I always tell new people coming in, you don't have to be physically fit. He had burn victims, amputees. They could not leave their beds. And he basically was hired to get them stronger. So when he came to the States, he had a studio in New York City. So of course, being in New York City, you're with, the theater district, you're with the dancers. And he loved working with the dancers because they were physically able to do things that most of his patients couldn't. So that's where a lot of the misconception of you have to be physically fit or flexible to be able to do Pilates, and you really don't.
You really don't. It's just like yoga. It exists
Yes.
at all levels.
Correct.
In other words, you can have gentle yoga, you can have power yoga. It's the same with Pilates.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the Pilates, we use a lot of the Pilates moves in yoga.
Correct.
There's a lot of interplay between the two.
Right.
But now most people usually see Pilates on a mat,
Yes.
right? Because this is rare to see the actual machines.
Yes.
Is really
having
rather
machines
rare.
in a studio, number one, it's expensive to purchase the machines, to have numerous in your studio. And also the instructors, there's not many that are certified. It's money, it's time, it's patience to get certified and go through the whole process. So having the machines in a studio base is awesome to have.
Is wonderful.
And that's one of the reasons why I teach here, because it's the caliber of instructors and the machines are just, high on the level.
Now walk me through a Pilates class. Are you on the machine the whole time?
Yes.
What does that look like?
Well, compared to when we talked about the Pilates mat class, and you see a lot of that in a studio or in a gym because it's you and a mat. What sometimes people find it harder is because when it's just you and the mat, it's you and gravity. So you're working with your own resistance. If you're inflexible, you might use a bolster and modify some of the exercises, but with a machine, it actually gives you more guidance. I compare it to using free weights to using like a Cybex machine. So you have a little bit more guidance.
A little support.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't mean the exercises are any easier, but you can modify and change the positions of the springs or the machine to make the exercise a little bit more.
I would think it holds the alignment a little better.
Right.
In other words, you're not going to get hurt as easy because
you have that guidance.
You have the guidance.
Yes.
Which is something that's a hard thing even in yoga. We always talk about alignment because if you're not in alignment, then that's when you get hurt.
Right. And then the classes are smaller, so you're getting 6 students to 1 instructor. So you're more focused, from the instructor because it's a smaller group. But in a typical class, you always, start with this basic warm-up, warming up the spine, the joints of the body and the legs and the hips. And then you go into, rotation and flexion, just like any progression in fitness. You want to make sure that, you're doing the correct order. And the classes are always an hour long. We always do an hour-long class. And sometimes we'll, move to the tower end. So you have the reformer part and we have the tower end. And sometimes we even come over to the Pilates chairs. So it's a Pilates equipment class. Sometimes it's just the reformer. Sometimes it's with the tower. Sometimes we throw in the chair. It depends on what the instructor developed for that day.
And the reformer is the basic bench.
The basic, yes, where the mat is connected to the springs. The towers are an extra add-on, which is, again, hard to come by in a studio to have the towers.
Right. Yeah. What would you say is the benefit of Pilates? I mean, it's the new year, so we're all looking to start our New Year's
thing?
Yes, like what's the new thing?
Right.
And trying something new, that's a big part of getting involved in fitness.
Right. And it is intimidating, absolutely.
Sure. But what's the benefit? What's the gain?
Just how we mentioned before, Pilates works the body from the inside out. So it's working on all your intrinsic muscles that you're not going to see when you look in a mirror. So when you go to the gym, we typically, we want to work our shoulders, we want to work squats, lunges,
the big biceps.
Yeah, the biceps,
right?
Beautiful shoulders, the lats, and the tiny waist. You want to be able to physically see it and see the improvement. Pilates does work on those muscles because those are your main muscles that, you curl your arm, of course your bicep has to be worked. You do a row, of course your rhomboids are going to be activated. But this is also focusing on the muscles we don't see. All the rotator cuff muscles, your serratus muscle in your shoulder girdle, your pelvic floor, your deep transverse abdominals, all the muscels you physically can't see. And that will help stabilize the spine to make you stronger when you want to go and do squats, when you want to do, the elliptical longer, or you want to have better balance in tennis, so on and so forth.
And you feel those muscles afterwards. I know that after doing Pilates.
Yeah.
You're
Some
surprised.
people after their first session won't feel anything. Maybe it takes 2 or 3, but you'll go to sneeze or cough or go up the stairs. You're like, oh my gosh, these are muscles I've never felt before.
Right. Even someone that works out all the
Absolutely.
time. Because it really is a very different way to work out.
Right.
What kind of training do you have to become a Pilates instructor? That's rather intense.
Yes, it is intense. It's time consuming, but also there's different certifications as there is in yoga, as there is in fitness also. So when you have the certification, you're going to put in months practice between hours of learning the machines, learning the basics of mat, then you go into the machines and you go into the chair, then you have the barrel and all these apparatuses, and then you have to have the experience of teaching it. So it's lengthy.
It is. And a lot of anatomy.
It's not a weekend.
I was going to say,
not a weekend,
I think most Pilates instructors have a great knowledge of anatomy.
Correct.
Because you're similar to physical therapy in that you're working with muscles, and a lot of times people are coming to Pilates looking for a type of therapy that will help.
Correct. Yes. When I learned Pilates, I was a dance minor at Slippery Rock and an exercise science major. So I learned Pilates in my dance class, but it was like doing weight training in my dance class. It was the best of both worlds. So I started when I was in college and then progressed from there. But knowing that having the exercise science degree with anatomy and learning more about Pilates was a good fit.
It's a really good fit. Yeah. And I think you would encourage, and I've seen people of all ages here at Oxford on the machines, you would encourage this for all ages.
Absolutely. We can start, if they're going to do one-on-one training, I usually 12, 13 years old is a good age. The bodies are still developing, but that's something to kind of get them introduced to the movement. Once you're 14, you can take any of the classes, but anybody who's interested in doing the reformer classes has to do 4 privates because you have to learn the basics. Because you can't hurt yourself at any form of fitness not having a background. You need to know.
I think that's really important. So you're not just coming in, jumping on, and following an instructor, it's a little harder.
Correct. Yes.
With Pilates
Right.
because you're laying down and you need
You can't
to know.
see them visually,
Right.
all but yes. So it
Right.
gives you an introductory of the machines. We offer a nice discounted rate for new clients, new members who come in and want to do the 4 sessions with a trainer. And then we get to know you too. So when you do come to class, we know, okay, maybe they had a hip replacement or,
Right.
they tore the ACL and we can,
Right. how to modify.
Correct.
And too, you feel a little more comfortable. So if you're
Yes.
nervous about it, you
even
come
for
in,
me
you
as an
take a
instructor.
class, sure,
Right.
and then you feel a little more
Yeah.
confident coming into a class.
Right. Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you have a special event coming up here at Oxford for people
Yes.
to try Pilates.
Correct.
When is that?
That is on Monday the 8th. It is at 8:30 with one of our instructors, Leslie Georgiadis. She's going to be teaching. It's about a half-hour, 40-minute introductory class. So you don't have to come and sign up for the 4 packs. If you're really intimidated, come in, sign up for the class through the fitness desk, and try it.
Try it
just
out.
to try it. And then we have another one on Saturday the 27th, that day too, that morning at 10:30. Same thing. You can
That's
sign
awesome.
up to take it and try.
Nicole, if anyone wants more information about Oxford Athletic Club or about your Pilates classes, where can they go?
They can log on to the internet and just go to www.oxfordathleticclub.com. It has a list of instructors, classes, all our amenities, everything that we offer here. If you want to reach out to me personally, I am at nrogos, that's NROGOS, at oxfordathleticclub.com. You can reach us at 724-933-1911. I'm at extension 4123.
Well, we know Oxford has a lot to offer. There's a lot here. So we're hoping that you're going to have us back again
Absolutely, yes.
to Oxford. But Nicole, thanks for joining us
Thank you.
today.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
And we'll meet you in a moment right here at Oxford on the mat. Let's start out in crocodile today. Coming to rest on the mat. Stacking the elbows and the wrists, bring the forehead to rest on your arms, widen the feet. And come into the breath. In crocodile makes it a little easier to feel the breath as it moves down through the chest into the belly. Belly rises on the inhale. Falls back down on the exhale. Just noticing the breath through the body. Setting your intention for your practice, and beginning to link the body and the mind through the breath. Then slowly rising up into our tabletop posture. Maybe 1 or 2 cat-cow breaths in table. On the inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest. On the exhale, press into the mat, round the spine, lifting up. Then tucking the toes underneath and coming to downward facing dog. Nice inhale up onto the balls of the feet. And exhale, gently press the heels to the back of the mat. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Gazing between the 2 hands, step, hop, or jump to the top of the mat. Nice deep sun breath in. And exhale, swan dive down, forward fold. Reach for the toes. Planting the hands on the mat, right foot steps into plank, left foot steps to meet it. Taking the elbows tight into the rib cage as you lower to low, down through chaturanga, scooping up into cobra, and pressing back, downward facing dog. Gazing between the 2 hands, step, hop, or jump, top of the mat. Nice deep sun breath in, reach for the ceiling, and on the exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, right leg steps back, crescent lunge. Exhale, release, humble warrior. Arms down alongside, nice deep inhale all the way up, warrior 1. Exhale, open up, warrior 2. Straightening the front leg in warrior 2. Turning the back toes so that they face the side wall. Turning the front toes towards the top of your mat. Then reaching with your arm as far as you can. When you can't reach anymore, slowly tip into triangle. Holding in Trikonasana, reach for the ceiling. See if you can rotate the hip outward and press it towards the ceiling. One more breath here. Then put a nice deep knee bend in the knee. Rising back up, warrior 2. And reverse your warrior, reach for the ceiling, deep inhale. And then cartwheel down to the mat. 2 feet together into plank, take it down through chaturanga, cobra, and down dog. Gazing between the 2 hands, step, hopper, jump, top of the mat, nice deep sun breath in. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Inhale, left leg steps back, crescent lunge. Exhale, release, humble warrior. Arms down alongside, nice deep breath in, warrior 1. Exhale, open up, warrior 2. Holding in warrior 2, turning the back toes towards the side wall, front toes towards the top of your mat. Straightening the front leg. Then reaching outward as far as you can when you can't reach anymore. Tipping into triangle. Reaching up for the ceiling, pressing the hip towards the ceiling, little outward rotation. See if you can keep the breath going in through the chest, down to the belly. Then put a nice deep knee bend in your knee. Rise back up, warrior 2. Flipping the palm and reverse your warrior. Nice deep breath in. And then cartwheel down to the mat. 2 feet together into plank. Take it down through chaturanga, cobra, and down dog. Inhale, forward into plank. Exhale, back, down dog. One more, inhale, forward, holding there. Nice deep breath in, press away from the mat. Then bringing it down onto dolphin arms, interlace the fingers. Nice deep breath in, press your chin past your knuckles. Exhale, shift it back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, shift it back. One more, inhale, forward. And exhale, shift it back, bringing your belly back to rest on the mat. Drawing the arms alongside the chest, cobra position. Bring the forehead to rest on the mat. Draw the legs together behind you. Create a nice dolphin tail behind you. Pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, lifting the kneecaps, and on the next inhale, lift the legs. Holding them there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down. Let's add in the arms and the chest to Salabhasana, locust pose. Draw the legs together behind you. On the next inhale, lift the legs. Then press the hands into the mat, lifting the chest. Put your gaze at the mat. The neck is nice and long. No tension in the neck for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower back down. Adding a couple options. Maybe this time you take those arms out into airplane wings. Maybe you bring them forward into Superman arms, your choice. Draw the legs together behind you. On the next inhale, lift the legs, then take the arms and the chest where you'd like them to go. Let the breath keep moving. Don't hold the breath for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower down. One more Salabhasana. Back bend on our belly. You've got lots of options already on the table, but if you'd like to try full bow, you can reach back and grab the ankles. Set yourself up for bow. And on the next inhale, lifting up. And let's see if we can keep rising up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, highest point 10. Slowly lower back down, taking the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling and just windshield wiper the legs back and forth. Release the lower back. Then draw the legs nice and long against the mat. Turning your head to the right side, one nice deep breath in. Exhale to the toes. Turning your head to the left, nice deep breath in. Exhale to the toes. Then rising up to our tabletop posture. Maybe a little cat-cow breath in table. And then coming to seated, extending the legs out in front of you. Nice deep breath in. Sitting up on the sit bones. Maybe walking the hands towards your toes. Drawing the feet into butterfly pose. Round the back, dropping the head to the feet. Nice deep breath here. Then bringing it back up to seated. Placing the hands behind you. Let the fingertips face your backside. Slowly lowering down onto the elbows, coming into fish pose. Dropping the head towards the mat. If it's uncomfortable to drop the head, you can always gaze at the ceiling. If you want, you can drop the head all the way to the floor. And a couple of nice deep breaths right here in fish. Big open chest, see if you can get the breath down to the belly. Maybe one more breath. Then rising back up, draw the knees into the chest. Forehead comes to the knees, tight little ball. See if you can lift the feet up off of the floor. One breath here. Then bringing the feet to the mat, slowly lowering down, one vertebrae at a time. Draw the knees into the chest, forehead comes to the knees. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, arms come out into a T, legs drop over to the right side. Maybe you can even straighten the leg. If you can access the toes. If you want to draw the leg underneath you towards you, you can even reach down and access the foot. One nice deep breath here. Then slowly release, knees come into the chest. Forehead comes to the knees, tight little ball, deep breath in. Then arms come out into a T, let the legs drop over to the left side. Maybe you straighten the right leg, maybe you can access the thigh, the shin, the toes. Maybe you can bend the leg underneath and grab onto your foot. See what you can do to drop the shoulders back onto the mat. Another deep breath here. Then bring it all back to center. Forehead comes to the knees. Nice tight little ball, deep breath in. And release in a full body yawn. Bring it back in. Knees to the chest, forehead to the knees. And maybe just grabbing on behind the thighs. See if you can allow yourself to rock back and forth and bring it all the way to seated. Bring your hands to heart center with me as we start the new year together. Find the light within you. Take it out into the world. Namaste.